So, does anybody have anything else they'd like to share? Don't be
I
shy.
could have time,
What?
but I could have ran time, but
We have time.
Okay.
Please, indulge us.
wants to go.
Okay.
Okay. This is short. The stripper cake.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yes.
Greer was pissed. The space inside the cake was too small for him. His legs were going to fall asleep if he didn't get out of it soon. How the hell did strippers get in these things for so long? He squatted inside the wooden cake shell, his hands clutching a pair of pistols. Of course, Greer was 6'5" and well over 230 pounds. He debated getting out and forgetting the whole thing. He couldn't breathe in confined space, and sweat ran down his back, a sensation he truly hated. His boss, old Abe, did not pay him enough for this crap. 3 knocks against the shell caught Greer's attention. He recognized Trevino's muffled voice calling from outside. "It's time." Finally, Greer let out a deep sigh. The cake shell lurched forward on its casters. Greer's left hand scrabbled along the inside of the shell to keep his balance. Crap, what a stupid idea. The pistol tumbled out of his hand, lodging between his knee and the inside wall of the shell, digging into his thigh. Greer ignored the pain and closed his eyes. The music grew louder as he rolled forward, along with the jeers and catcalls of the men at the party. Greer grabbed the pistol when the cake finally stopped moving. He smiled as the music began to change, and a bunch of men joined in a loud, off-key rendition of Happy Birthday. This was a birthday Tony and his boys would not forget. He waited until the song died down, and the catcalls resumed. Then he shot straight up. He ignored the pops in his knees as his head broke through the paper cap at the top of the cake shell. He glanced around at the half-dozen drunken men around the cake. The looks of lust changing to fear as they realized it wasn't a stripper popping out of the cake. "Greer!" Tony, the birthday boy blubbered, his eyes growing wide. He stood at the front of the group. "Happy birthday, Tony," Greer rasped, his lips pulled back in a twisted grimace. Greer raised the pistols and squeezed the triggers. Tony tried to run in 3 different directions at the same time and ended up falling backwards, screaming. The first blast of water from the pistols hit him in the face. Greer grinned as he emptied the water pistols onto Tony. Most of the partygoers behind Tony began to laugh. A few not in on the gag stared. Tony cringed for a moment until he realized what happened. He sat in a puddle of water, not all of it water from the water pistols, his jaw hanging open. His eyes settled on Greer. "You son of a bitch!" More laughter quickly erupted. A couple of the guys helped Tony to his feet. Greer stood there in the cake, his shoulders quivering as he struggled to control himself. Tony glared at him for a few seconds. Greer watched as Tony lost the struggle not to break into a smile. He began to laugh at the others. Greer waited till the laughter ended and raised his hands. "Boys, there's more fun across the hall. The girls are waiting." Greer stood in the cake shell as the others filed out and called Tony. "Hey, come on over here and help me get out of this thing." "Christ, you ape! I thought for a second old ape sent you to finish me off." Greer clutched Tony's arm as he climbed out of the cake. As he landed on his feet, he pulled Tony against him. Tony gasped as Greer's blade slid between his ribs. He pounded against Greer's chest for a moment. Then he went limp. Old Abe sends his warmest wishes, Tony, Greer whispered into his ear. Greer picked up Tony as if he weighed nothing and tossed him into the cake shell. Trevino, a small, gray-haired man in a tan suit, came from a side room. Without a word, he pushed the cake shell out the door. Greer walked over to the other banquet room. Better be sure the other boys didn't witness anything. What happened to Tony? In the other room, the boys cheered as two topless blondes danced to an old 70s tune. Greer smirked to himself. Good. They don't have a clue. As he headed to the exit, one of the party goers called him. Hey, Greer! Where did Tony go? Greer looked over his shoulder. He is checking out dessert.